Hi, good evening. This is Marie, founder and CEO of Bridal. Welcome on this new video. Today, we're going to be talking about trying horses. I'm going to be telling you a lot of the things that I learned 30 years running this company, give you some tips in terms of trying horses in Europe, and also share with you the journey of what it actually looks like. The first thing that I want you to know is that I'm talking from experience. I run a sales operation based in Europe. We have a sales platform called bridal.co and we are super successful. We've sold horses in over 26 countries and we've been doing pretty well. The rate of satisfaction of our clients is through the roof and we have gained a lot of experience. This business allows us to understand a lot about people, a lot about people's expectations, but also understand a lot about the international market. So what I can tell you today is that buying a horse is a really unique, personal, and selective experience. You have to know exactly what you're looking for. The very first thing is understanding what it is that you want and what it is that you don't want, what it is that you will tolerate and what it is that you will not accept. Having that list in your mind is critical and a super important part of the process. So the way in which it would look for me and a customer would be taking a discovery call, connecting with them, understanding what they want, what they need, where they're at, asking for videos of them riding, understanding a little bit the specifics of their deal, because everyone has different characteristics, different needs, different wants, but also different objectives and goals, and also different limitations. Your story is going to be different from any other rider that I speak to. So understanding this globally will be super helpful in the moment to think of a list of horses that can fit, or even go outbound and scout new options of horses that can fit. The way in which we would do that at Bridal is very simple. We would share those characteristics with our team, reflect upon them, watch video review ride, and then we would be going to step 2. Step 2 would be for us to send you a link of the platform. It's very easy. It actually takes less than a minute to create an account. And once that account is created, it's then very easy for us to go on the admin panel, speak with our team, select some horses based on results, characteristics, and the request that you made, and basically put together what we call a catalog. A catalog is a tailored list of options of horses that fits the request that you made. It's really helpful and it really allows you to basically see what we have available. On the other hand, we will notify our team and our scouts will be able to go outbound, call sellers that they know, look at horses at shows, and basically network with people in order to be able to propose horses in the market that could fit this given customer. As I said, we've sold horses in over 26 countries, and the logic of a client from Asia versus the States versus South Africa versus South America is completely different. The set of rules is also very different whether you're leaving the horse in Europe or exporting the horse. Tax regimes are different. For example, Brazil has a 40% import tax, where the state currently has 10%, and 2 years ago, they had no import tariffs whatsoever. If you're, for example, selling a horse outside of Europe, you don't have VAT applicable, but if you leave the horse a certain time in Europe and use it for competition, the tax may apply. So there's all sorts of different rules that we have developed an expertise upon that we understand really well, and it's actually very easy when you're guided by the right people. The other thing that I would say is that blood tests are a big important part of the sales process for horse. We as a team know exactly what we're doing in that aspect, but we always aim to work with the same lab. So for example, there's a reference lab called Bose based in Germany that's really strong when it comes to the analysis of blood samples for horses. If you're selling a horse to the US, that horse has specific tests that needs to be done in order to export that horse. For example, for a mare, you will have the CEM and you will have pyroplasmosis. If that horse tested bad for those tests, it cannot enter the United States of America. For a stallion, you will have a swab test, and for gelding, you will in general have glanders, durine, and pyroplasmosis, the 2 types of pyroplasmosis. So it's really important that you do things in the right order, because if you ship a horse to the US and that horse has an issue when tested and quarantined there, you're done. The horse has to come back to Europe and will not be let into the United States. But that sample of blood will be used differently if you're sending the horse to America versus, for example, to Colombia. There's different rules and there's different regulations that apply. Another thing is some countries are not able to sell one horse to the next. For example, when we were in Jordan, we learned that you cannot sell a horse from Jordan to Saudi Arabia. legally at least. The way in which things work is that you can send a horse there to compete, but it always has to come back. There's no import regulations that allow you to ship a horse there. If you wanted to sell a horse there, you would have to send the horse to the UAE, quarantine for a while, and then send it to Saudi. There's similar regulations, for example, from sending a horse from Brazil to Colombia. That is not possible. You would have to literally send a horse to the States, let it quarantine there for X amount of time, which I think is 90 days, and then send that horse to Colombia. So there's different regulations for different countries that you need to know and need to understand. And that's why we work with shippers, work with people that are literally in charge of doing those things and will have the understanding that comes behind those operations. That may seem complicated, but they're not that hard. So basically, when we put together that catalog of horses, we aim to support you based on what you're looking for, and we will literally get back to you with a list of options. Once you see that, you may say, hey, I want more videos of this, and this, results of that, x-rays of this, and we'll tailor the organization of that conversation. If you want to have a chat with the owners, we'll schedule calls. If you want to try that horse, we'll help you schedule trials. And if you don't have anything that you like, we'll basically go into our database, picture which other horses could be suitable, propose you new options, show you what new listings have happened on the platform. There's always new options of horses available, and on the other hand, we will also let our scouts team figure what's currently available. The other thing that I think is super exciting right now is Joseph's data scouting. He's been working on different algorithms and he's been helping our team a ton, scouting incredible horses, especially for the higher level, more expensive horses. But it's been a really cool tool that he's been working on, and we're super delighted to use it, and it's helped us a ton. In terms of when we use that tool, the general strategy for me is that I watch a lot of videos, I watch a lot of horses in shows, I watch a lot of horses compete, I keep up with horses with good results, and I'm always like, hey Dovile, can you go get the price of this horse to see if it would fit that client? Like, we're continuously going outbound, continuously aiming to seek opportunities, horses available, clients. Like, it's just a continuous outbound flow that allows us to get new horses, new clients, and new matches happening. So, assuming you see this horse, you love the results, you love the videos, you check the x-rays, you love everything, and you want to try that horse. Or maybe you want to try several horses. Thing that we've done and organized for one of our customers. Our role is to organize absolutely everything that has to do with the organization of this trip. I'll give you an example. Last week, I traveled with clients. I created an entire Excel sheet format with basically every single thing that would be happening during their trip. Horse name, results, commission value, confirmed pricing, the exact logistics of the trip. And I went with them in order to make sure that the process was simple. I don't always travel with clients. Sometimes I travel with their trainer, but I like to go with clients because for me, it helps increase the results and it helps increase the quality of the sales team and the efforts that we put out there, especially for high value customers. I like to go out there. We spend a lot of time with you. We go to restaurants with you. We can drive if necessary. We can hire a driver if necessary. Like, there's so much that comes with that experience. Oftentimes it's very intense days. We start super early in the morning and really, really late at night, depending on what it is that we're going for. Last week, we tried 15 horses. Out of this, several are being vetted and hopefully a few are going to go to the States. So it's really exciting to see how you start with a very, very strong pipeline of options and then you just end up with that narrowed down option, because what you've got to see is that between what you aim to try and what actually works in general, for very picky clients, there's a difference. And for most people too, like, we have clients that try a lot of horses. We had a girl that had to try 45 horses this year in order to find her dream horse. And it's actually funny, I told her, try this horse, this is your horse. She tried it twice and now they're winning in their category. So that's a really, really important thought process and system to put in place in order to think about what it is that you want to achieve. You need to know what you're looking for, and you need to have a team that knows what they're doing and that can propose suitable options for you. Assuming you try a horse that you love. Well, it's great to think about trying it a second time. And it's also great to pull blood during trial. And then after that, when you need to do a vetting, you need to understand the risks that you're willing to take. Every single horse will have something on their bedding. This I can absolutely guarantee you. However, the conversation is whether you're happy to take that risk, whether that risk makes sense to take, and whether it makes sense with the value that you're spending. Giving you an example. We had recently a horse started at a value of X and we brought it down 50,000 because that horse had a comment on the vet check that would be a comment that would scare most people in terms of resale. That customer was in love with the horse and was very, very happy to buy it, but at a different price. This is something that our team will take into account and will really aim to achieve. We really support negotiation, whether you want to achieve the negotiation yourself or whether you want the support of our team. In general, most people have our team do it, but there's been cases where having a buyer and a seller communicate directly really helps and really supports that conversation. So we really there to help with a full service. The other thing that I was going to say is once the vetting is good to go, we help with the preparation of contracts, which can then be reviewed by you, your lawyer, whoever needs to be involved. And then on closing, we can always help you with the logistics and the organization of transport. This is not a service that we provide, but we're very well connected and we're more than happy to help you with this. So trying horses is a whole journey. It's really fun. You learn a lot about yourself. You get to experience a lot of different places, a lot of different foods, a lot of different cultures, especially when you travel intensely across Europe. And you also get to understand what it is that you want as a rider and what it is that you don't want as a rider. So I'm telling you all this for you to understand that Bridal can absolutely help you achieve your goals when it comes to buying and selling horses, and that I am the girl you need when it comes to finding your dream horse. Our team is absolutely unbelievable. We achieve incredible results, we sell incredible horses, and we've been doing so for 5 years now. So if you're looking for a new horse, let us know. And I hope that this video was very educational and that you learned a ton. See you in the next one.